Good mother beasts, how many of us have not seen in multiple of my videos, in videos of other creators, the famous floating damage? If you also want to have it in your game, stay and watch the video because here I'll show you it. By now you must have realized that within the game, in the options part, no matter what menu you visit, how much you have, you will not find this option, and if you thought it was activated in the same way as the peephole, which by the way, if you don't know how to place it here, I'm leaving you the video, you will have noticed that there is none either. And one option, the main use that is usually given to floating damage, in addition to knowing how much damage your weapons are doing, is to know when you have already hit the creature, since the indicators that are within the game are very little evident, the first being the simple little red cross that marks when a target is hit, and the other indicator is when this creature comes to pass the yellow sign to a better life in a very agitated situation. You won't even notice these two indicators. So let's see how floating damage activates. For this I have a hypothesis and bad news. The bad news is that to activate it forcefully you need the good console. I have no doubt that they will make an update later which will give us a box or button where to activate this feature, but for now we only have that one. Let's remember that to be able to use the good console we have to buy it in the store or directly rent the ARK Pass. There are other methods to get it, but we won't touch on them in this video. Let's assume that you already have access to the good console. You will only have to open it and place the following command that you will also be finding here, low. In the video description, the command would read as chat toggledamagenumbers. Once you let him know, this command will be activated to be able to see the floating damage, which, as I mentioned to you a while ago, works perfectly to know if you are hitting the target or not. And so you already have a third indicator beyond the little red cross and the yellow sign when you get to kill a creature. This feature is very interesting because it is not only limited to firearms such as long necks, shotguns, etc. It can also work a lot for us to see fire damage as well as them. You dealt fire damage since you not only give the damage from the impact of the projectile, but also the progressive damage that the flames are capable of generating to enemies, and thus over time know whether to shoot another arrow or not. Remember that in Artmobile we already have the advantage of being able to see the lives of dinos even if they are wild. Added to this floating damage feature, imagine how broken the amount of ammunition you can save is, and know if you can defeat an enemy or not with this simple fact of floating damage and how it works for weapons. Long range or for those who use fire. It also works for melee damage weapons such as swords, clubs, spears, etc. By the way, I almost forgot. Activating this feature not only lets you see the damage you do, but also the damage you receive, showing the damage received in yellow. If you paid attention to the background in the video, you managed to notice that the damage of my weapons is not conventional, it is quite high damage. If you also want to learn how to get ascending quality weapons and be able to manufacture them in your worlds, leave me a comment here below, leave your like, subscribe, and we will bring it in the next installment. I sincerely hope that you liked the video, that you loved the most important thing, that it taught you how to place the floating damage, and without further ado, see you.
Tonight I'm going to spend some time exploring my thoughts.
They're still present, but it's over. You can go home.